Good morning. I'm Pat McCrory, Governor of North Carolina, with our emergency response team representing the National Guard, the Highway Patrol, the Department of Transportation, the Department of Health and Human Services, Highway Patrol, Public Safety. It's been a team effort. But as the sun rises in North Carolina and the blue sky returns, our state is facing major destruction and, sadly, loss of life. This storm is not over for North Carolina. And one lesson we have learned is when you go from a Category 4 hurricane to a Category 1, the danger and harm is still there. And what those categories don't include is how water can kill. And that's exactly what has happened, sadly, in North Carolina, and we still have those dangers ahead of us regarding water potentially killing people. And right now, as we speak, people are trapped in their homes throughout North Carolina, especially in the east and the coast. Right now, as we speak, Hurricane Matthew is still hitting the northeastern part of our state, especially in the Outer Banks. We are extremely concerned with this Soundside storm surge in the Outer Banks, Pamlico, and Albemarle Sounds. We're currently having a 3 to 6 foot surge. As we said yesterday, the wind is coming from the inland, going out, and this is causing a great deal of flooding and destruction and very, very dangerous water issues and road issues in the Northeast. Very similar to what we were seeing in Raleigh and Fayetteville and other parts in Southport and Wilmington last night. The Northeast is now getting hit with that, and it will be leaving shortly, but I'm sure leaving behind some destruction and hopefully no loss of life. I have just signed an expedited major disaster declaration that we have sent to the President that will provide immediate federal assistance to the state and additional federal assistance to the state as quick as possible. These will include grants to help people that don't have proper insurance or flooding insurance. This will be also helping the state government deal with debris, the repair of roads and bridges, and it's very, very helpful. I'd like to thank the President for his ongoing communications with me, and I'd like to also thank our federal partners and our county partners during this very, very difficult past 72 hours. Sadly, we have confirmed 7 confirmed storm-related fatalities at this point in time. 1 in Pitt County, 1 in Sampson County, 2 in Bladen County, 1 in Harnett County, and 2 in Johnson County. Our hearts and prayers are with the families of those individuals that have lost their lives. We also have had a fatality in a shelter due to a health condition once an individual was brought to the shelter that passed away in the shelter, and our prayers are with that family also. This is still an extremely dangerous situation, and I cannot stress it more, especially in the areas of Rocky Mount, Kinston, Greensville, Goldsboro, and other eastern towns and cities. We're going to have some major issues with river flooding, and I'll give you more details about that in just a few minutes. We're extremely concerned with inland flooding because right now the rainfall totals on Saturday topped 15 inches in Goldsboro, 12 inches in Fayetteville, Lumberton, and Smithfield, 9 inches in Raleigh and Rocky Mount, 6 inches in Wilmington. Tar Heel and Bladen County had more than 16 inches of rain. And much of that rain now is going into the rivers, so we will not see the rivers peak possibly until Monday and Tuesday. And our models show very, very dangerous conditions as those rivers go over their edges. Keyshaw River in Windsor will crest today 3 feet above flood level. And of course, that will impact the town of Windsor and the surrounding neighborhoods and farms around Windsor. And we saw the damage that occurred last week when they had over 15 inches of rain. We also have major issues at Rockfish Creek in Rayford, Little River at Manchester, Lumber River at Lumberton. We're also, I believe, we just had news of a dam breaking in Lumberton, and there are hopefully evacuations that had occurred, but we've just got notice of that in the past hour. And that's an extremely serious situation in Lumberton, and we were all observing that all day yesterday also. But there has been a breach of a dam in Lumberton. Town Creek near Pine Tops, Tar River at Rocky Mount, Neuse River near Clayton, Neuse River near Smithfield. Johnson County got hit very, very hard last night. Tar River at US 301 bypass at Rocky Mount. I want the people in Rocky Mount to be extremely careful. We've learned in that area with Hurricane Floyd that river can rise very, very quickly, and it's going to happen. Stony Creek at Rocky Mount, Crabtree Creek right here in Raleigh, and Chowan River in Edenton are right now our major concerns. Moderate and minor flooding is predicted for 34 other locations. We've already had 887 rescues using 58 boat crews and 334 rescue techs. And they're going on as we speak right now. The Coast Guard, the National Guard, our Highway Patrol, special swiftwater teams from throughout the state and out of the state are right now, as we speak, rescuing people from their homes, risking their lives. And we want to do everything we can to help them. We actually had 562 rescues in Cumberland County alone, where we've added a FEMA swift rescue team to the rescue effort during the evening. These rescue teams, I gotta let you know, they're extremely exhausted at this time. They've been working throughout the night, and we're trying to move some more rescue teams in to give them rest, because if they're so fatigued, they're putting their life in danger. And right now, they're putting their lives in danger as we speak in many, many dangerous areas. Let me give you a few examples. More than 200 people were rescued by boat from a neighborhood in Pine Tops in Edgecombe County. And a lot of Edgecombe County is underwater right now. In fact, I just saw on the TV monitor where several people were rescued by the Coast Guard off of a roof, and I hope that dog survives too. And my wife, I know, we deal a great deal for pets, and also we have a lot of livestock animals that could be in danger at this point in time. A helicopter went after 5 other people there on a rooftop that boats could not reach. And again, crews are still in that area, and there's also an attempt to rescue the pets. In Wake County, 58 individuals were rescued, and about 150 in Nash County. In Wilson, local police and National Guard troops searched for a nurse who did not make it home after her shift ended. A National Guard team, God bless y'all, found her clinging to a tree in floodwaters along her route home. Can you imagine in the dead of night clinging to a tree, a nurse of all things? So God bless the National Guard that continues to do outstanding work. General, thank you very much. Active water rescues continued in Fayetteville throughout the night as well. The FEMA Swift Rescue Water Team from New York, Ohio, and New Jersey are helping there and filling in while the rest of our North Carolina teams are trying to get a few hours of sleep before they return primarily to the east. 300 North Carolina National Guards with 105 high water vehicles have been activated and are performing rescues, and there are more National Guard on the way. We think we're going to need some more. So National Guard crews have been working in Fayetteville. Right now we have 40 troops, and I think we have 16 to 20 additional troopers. We've got National Guard in Sanford, Williamston, Butner, Kinston, Elizabethtown, New Bern, Tarboro, and they're being redeployed from Salisbury and Mooresville at this time. And we're also working with the Coast Guard to help with these rescues. They're doing an outstanding job. The head of one of the leaders of the Coast Guard was here 3 days ago. So they've been on our team from day one, and I told the President that yesterday in a phone conversation and how much we appreciate the U.S. Coast Guard. State Highway Patrol are really getting troopers out to impacted areas and are working hard to keep our roads safe. The Department of Transportation is doing an outstanding job and is urging resources into and putting resources into impacted areas to ensure roads are open and safe. However, I'll talk briefly. We do have a lot of roads closings at this point in time. We have county status. We have 43 local states of emergencies, 40 EOCs are open, 83 shelters are open, and we have over 4,200 shelter occupants. Right now in North Carolina, we have more than 760,000 power outages, mostly in central and eastern North Carolina. Much of Raleigh, where I spent the night, right near the command center, major outages here in Raleigh, and major outages in Fayetteville, and all to the east, and of course to the coast. So we have a lot of people that don't have access to this press conference and really do not know what's going on unless they have access to a radio or to any internet possibility. So we have to be worried about them right now because they are not getting the information that they need. A major issue right now, we have 911 system outages in 5 counties: Currituck, Bladen, Moore, Columbus, and Robinson. And that's causing us serious issues, especially if people are trapped at this point in time. Our State Highway Patrol is working with nearby counties and phone companies to try to get this rectified as quick as possible. And we're also patrolling a lot of areas to ensure that people see that there are people out there if they can't be reached through 911. There are ways also, I don't know if they can hear us now, but call the sheriff's office or other local public safety offices to try to get help if you can. We have some major water system issues in Johnson County and Cumberland County, Gates County at this point in time. And we have provided generators and bottled water to those 3 counties. We have numerous road closing, of course, some tragedies we had on I-95 last night, but that's, we have near Benson is closed, Lumberton is closed, Selma and Fayetteville are closed. So if anyone listening from out of state or coming from other parts of the state and they plan to use I-95, you've at least got 4 areas that you will not get through it at this point in time. Parts of I-40 near Raleigh, Warsaw, and Pender County near Wilmington are still closed at this point in time. Also expect major impacts on Highway 12 today in the Outer Banks, which we typically see flooding at that point in time. Before you go out, we'd prefer you not go out at this point in time. Check readync.org for the latest updates on roads. By the way, another road that could have a major impact is US 70 east of Selma. Our major issue right now is getting the Northeast through this storm, immediately evaluating what their conditions are. We have people heading to the coastal areas and their emergency response team to see how much damage is going on right there. Fayetteville, I spoke to the mayor earlier today. They're doing an immediate evaluation of the damage of roads and houses. Even in the Raleigh area, we've got a lot of houses that were wrecked by trees, falling trees. And then, of course, we've got a lot of falling trees over roads and power lines throughout North Carolina. In addition, right now in North Carolina, we've got a lot of houses underwater. And hopefully we don't have a lot of people in those houses right now. But I'm sure as the daylight comes, we're going to see that there are people trapped. So that's why we're getting as many rescue teams out throughout the state as possible. And hopefully we won't have any missing people still clinging to trees, which could be happening as we speak today, and we just don't know it. But we're out there searching at this point in time. If there is anyone missing in your family, please report that as soon as possible in case they got caught up in a flood condition or were swept off the road and we don't know about it. We'd appreciate that call as soon as possible and their route. And I'm so happy that nurse was rescued and many, many other people. So with that, Mike, is there anything else we missed?
Just be aware of the prolonged flooding. It's going to be a prolonged event.
This is going to be a prolonged event. Rocky Mount, Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, every town in between. We will have very serious issues. We're sending modeling that we have showing where the potential flooding will be in Kinston and Greenville and other Rocky Mount, where we actually can model which structures will be flooded, and your local people have that. I encourage the local officials to look at potential evacuations now if those models show flooding in certain areas. For example, in Greenville near the airport, in Kinston, there are some areas that typically flood. Same thing with Rocky Mount. And learned some lessons from what Hurricane Floyd did, and assume that could now happen within the next 24 to 48 hours. This is going to be an extremely serious time for those communities along rivers and creeks. And we're also having some dam issues even in the Raleigh area. What was the dam that broke?
Lake Benson.
Lake Benson Dam was breached last night, and of course we've got this most recent issue also. So with that, I'd be glad to take any questions you might have. I want to thank my team. They've done an outstanding job, but a lot more work to do. Yes, sir.
Governor, you had mentioned 7 storm-related fatalities. As you guys kind of get out and evaluate, do you expect that number to rise?
I hope not, but I wouldn't assume that there aren't people clinging for life right now in houses that are underwater that we have yet to reach to, and especially in lower populated areas. That's what my major concern is we have major neighborhoods underwater, and there could be some, again, some back roads where we had people swept away, and I'm praying we're not going to find that to be. So that's why we're checking all the roads as quick as possible. You know, it was in the dead of night, and so if it happened to someone, it's going to be tough to find out, especially if they were by themselves on a back road.
Governor, are many parts where it's safe for people to return home when they've been evacuated?
I think what I'd recommend is you check with each county is dealing with its own unique situation. You know, you've got to remember, we had very heavy rain in the Triad area. Winston-Salem, Greensboro, and High Point and Burlington area got hit very hard. I would assume it's become safer there, but usually where we have injuries and casualties are after the storm, when people just assume, well, everything's okay now. But we have major trees down over houses, by the way, including our lieutenant governor, whose house is totally destroyed. And those are very dangerous conditions. And also down power lines. I'm sure the co-ops, I want to thank the co-ops. I want to thank Duke Energy, the employees of these co-ops and Duke Energy who are actually fixing and repairing the power lines under very tough conditions. We do want to thank them, along with our Guard and Highway Patrol. We're very much in need of these utility workers to restore our power as quick as possible. A lot of these houses, by the way, have pumps, and if their pumps don't have power, their houses are flooding also. And in some areas, there's nowhere for the water to be pumped to. So some very dangerous conditions at this point in time. And I think as sunlight comes up in a lot of areas, we're going to be seeing some more damage. We had a hotel in Southport last night. We got a late night call. I think a Comfort Inn in Southport that had to be abandoned. I think 70 people were put into a shelter due to a potential wall break. So these are things we are finding out throughout the night. And I'm sure as we get to some of the isolated beaches, we're going to find out more. And of course, the pier at Oak Island was destroyed, and it's going to be interesting as daylight comes how much we see. A lot of sheriffs and the county officials, I'm sure, are observing all that right now. Any other questions? I would like to thank especially the local media and the Weather Channel for their ongoing care for recognizing that this is a major storm. And I realize political talk is dominating the airwaves on a lot of the other national channels, but I want to let the rest of the nation know we need your help. And we're going to be requesting your help in North Carolina just because it's gone from a Category 1. There has been loss of life, and a lot of people's lives and livelihood has been impacted, and it's still going to be for the next 3 or 4 days. So this is a very, very serious situation in North Carolina, and we're asking for the federal government's help and continued teamwork between city, county, and our state government. It's been outstanding so far. Thank you, and God bless each one of you.